Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am back today to share with you some stamping in your Happy Planner with the all brand new stamps from the Happy Planner. Isn't that exciting? I am thrilled with these stamps. They are adorable, they're perfect, and just like all of the stickers that we've known and we love, right? So anyway, there are two packages of stamps, and I'm going to show them both to you in depth right here. And then I'm going to show you how to use them, how to clean them, and then I'm going to do a plan with me using all of the stamps, okay? So first, there's the two packages. They each come with two sheets. So this is one collection right here, and this is one package right here. And one has, this one right here with the 65 pieces, has more fitness related stamps in it, okay? So it's not all fitness related, and you will still want this package even if you never touch the fitness stamps, but there are lots of great fitness stamps in here. So this page is kind of the fitness type page. However, this little bullet point with the star is awesome. The think positive, no excuses, don't quit. Lots of great things despite the fact that it's fitness related. Then you also have this one that has the lines, which are great for keeping track of things, the different check marks, the different bullet points, if you can see those over here, and then to do, to buy, all kinds of great things that are going to be really super functional for your planner. So I'm going to move these two things so I can show you these a little bit closer. It's hard when there's something in the background to see them. Fun, right? And then also this one. Now these two sheets are the 65 pieces. Now this set is really fun and super versatile for just about anyone. There's lots of really basic little icon stamps, and then also just some great headers, some really basic things that I already said multiple times, plus still some checklists, right? And the little clipboard and all kinds of really fantastic things. So this is the stamp set that has 59 stamps in it. And I'm going to show you these a little bit closer. Then there's this one as well. Okay, so now you have done no stamping. Let's assume you've never stamped before in your life, but you're really interested in it because you know that it can be really super cost effective and really cute, and you feel like, oh, okay, this could be something that I might really enjoy. How do I do it? Okay, well, let's talk about that. So first, you would need an acrylic block, okay? So now acrylic blocks come in all kinds of shapes, they come in all sorts of sizes, and you can buy them just about anywhere. Now, you're going to see people talk about how, oh, you don't need one, you can use the top of your ink pad, you can use this, you can use that, whatever. That's absolutely true. Absolutely, 100% true. So like for instance, this ink pad, it comes with the lid, right? Yep, you could just stick the stamp to the top of this and stamp away. Totally, no problem. It'll stick to it. However, what I will say is that if you don't want to find yourself frustrated and you want to set yourself up for stamping success, I highly recommend you picking up an acrylic block. You can get one at a big box store with a coupon, you can get them online, whatever. You don't have to have something that is super expensive to do the job, okay? So I recommend getting a small-ish type one that matches the size of the stamps that you're using. So for example, I have this really big one, right? It's fabulous, but I would not use it with these teeny tiny stamps. You're gonna have the best success if you find one that kind of matches the size of the stamps. Now, if you want to buy just one stamp block, then buy something that's a similar size to this. Again, it does not have to be round, it does not have to be fancy or expensive. But as you can see, some of these stamps are a little bit bigger, and so you're gonna want, if you're only gonna buy one, you're gonna wanna make it, wanna make it count. These are a thick acrylic. They are going to give you a really easy platform for a good impression, and that's what we're talking about here. Now, the other thing that we should talk about is ink. Now, again, you're going to get people that are going to tell you, oh, I picked it up at Dollar Tree. It's great. I'm going to use this. That's wonderful. You should absolutely do that if that works for you. My personal favorite is VersaFine. I've been using this ink pad. I've never re-inked it. I've never bought another one since 2011. So 6 years I've been using this exact ink pad, and I stamp nearly every single day in some way, shape, or form. It is a stamp ink pad that is formulated for small stamps for lots of details. It's also a pigment ink, and it's also a fast drying pigment ink. I don't have any problems with smearing. I have heard people say that they do. I don't wipe my hand over it immediately after stamping. I give it, a few seconds to dry, and I have never had any problems, and I'm a really messy crafter. So I highly recommend VersaFine. You will not have any bleeding. You might have a little bit of shadowing with these dark colors, but it's very, very minimal. So I don't think that it is a problem. Let me pull out my planner and I'll show you some black stamping with the VersaFine, and we'll see if we can see that on the back side, okay? So it'll take me a second to locate some black ink that we might actually be able to see. Let's see. I have it, but not necessarily in big pieces. So I want to make sure that it's something you can see. Okay, well then where's the dinner one? Right here. Okay, so you see how down here at the bottom, the word dinner, that's the black VersaFine. When I go over to the back side, it's down here by my finger. Okay, so there's no bleeding. It's very, very, very faint shadowing if you're looking for it. So I think that it's a great option. Okay, so now you know what to use, okay? Also, I did not talk about this, dye ink. Dye ink dyes the paper, so it soaks in. Some people will tell you, oh my gosh, I only use dye ink. I don't have any bleeding. That is awesome, but you could potentially have bleeding. So if you want to just set yourself up from the get-go, I highly recommend a pigment ink pad. Now, pigment inks come in lots of different forms. This is a pigment. Brilliance is a pigment. Chalk inks are a pigment, okay? You can get lots and lots of inexpensive pigment ink pads. Now they do take a little bit longer to dry, so you'll want to keep that in mind. But if you're patient, you will have great success. All right, so now let's talk about stamping. Okay, so I'm gonna show you all of my examples right now with my VersaFine, okay? All right, so I have a page from the Happy Planner, okay? Ink block, and we're gonna use Erin's because it's cute. Pull it off the backing, stick it to the ink block. Doesn't go anywhere. We ink it up. Saturday morning errands. Simply stamp it. Don't rock it. Apply a firm pressure. Looks great, right? Okay, so now you have a dirty ink pad. What to do? All right, that's the next thing we're going to talk about, is how to clean these stamps. Now, there are a few different options, and there's not one that's right. They're all right. You can do whatever you'd like. So now say that you want to just use a piece of scratch paper. This is when all these goodies come out, by the way, on the Me and My Big Ideas shop. Stamp it off until you no longer get any more impressions, okay? So you know it's clean, you know you're not gonna bleed ink, but it's still a little bit stained. So say you're not a fan of that. I'm gonna ink it up again to show you so you can see. Okay, so say you're not a fan, you don't want stains. Okay, that's fine too. You can use an alcohol-free baby wipe. Make sure that A, it's alcohol-free, and 2, make sure that you clean it gently. Gentle. You're not scrubbing, okay? You're just simply wiping off the ink, okay? Gentle, because you can tear the stamps. So you're thinking, no way. No, you totally can. You can totally tear them. Now the third option is you can take a couple of small cups of water. This one has a drop of soap, dishwashing soap. This one is just plain water. You can take the stamp, clean it off in the soapy water, rinse it in the non-soapy water, and then let them air dry. Now, they will air dry and they will be completely clean. You can also do this method when your stamps are no longer sticking to the acrylic block. So once you clean them, say a bunch of times with baby wipes, there will come a point where they're not as sticky on the block. So you can just do this method and let it air dry, and then it will go ahead and have all of its original stickiness back. Now, one tip with this is you're saying, I'll just take them to the sink. Don't take them to the sink. They're tiny, they're hard to see, and they are slippery. And I have read so many tales of people losing these down the drain. So do what I've shown you here, 2 little bowls of water, clean them all, let them air dry, and you'll be super happy with that. So anyway, you will be able to find these on the Me and My Big Ideas online shop. And if you want to know more about the price and where else you'll be able to purchase these, you can check out the Mambi periscopes. They have all the details for you. I just wanted to show you a little bit more about stamping with these wonderful Happy Planner stamps. So now let's work on a plan with me, shall we? Now you can see for my planning, I have a Happy Planner, both sets of the stamps, my planner ink pads, my stamp block, and then I also have pulled out a Prima chalk ink, the yellow, because I lost my yellow stamp ink, but no problem. Those are all Versa Fine and Versa Color. They are all pigment inks, and those are all of the ones that I reach for when I'm planning. So let's get started. For planning with stamps, you will especially want to take the pages out of the Happy Planner. You need a hard, solid surface without anything underneath. And so I find that just taking the pages out is the most helpful. Now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the What's for Dinner stamp and ink it up with my red VersaFine ink, and then go ahead and put it in the bottom. I always track my dinners down along the bottom in the bottom, how many times can I say that in a row, box, and that's the red VersaFine. Like I said, I buy VersaFine whenever it's available, but sometimes it's not because it doesn't come in very many colors. So now for Tuesday, I'm going to use the orange Versacolor, and Versacolor ink pads, you can get them on sale for less than $2 very regularly. So you can really get a whole bunch of different small colors for very, very inexpensive in these types of ink pads, and you don't need a bigger one. Now the Prima chalk ink for Wednesday with the yellow, and like I said, I had lost my Versacolor and it was actually sort of a weird situation, but I have this one in my stash, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And like I said, it's a chalk ink, so it works just fine in my planner. Now I'm going to dry that one off. I wiped it with my baby wipe, and now I'm going to look to start my functional planning. Now I have the little bullet point with the star, my red VersaFine, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right in the top in the morning and then clean it off with my baby wipe. Now again, as I said earlier, you'll want to wipe them gently. You don't want to scrub them. In the video, it's a little hard to see that I'm just wiping them gently. I can see how one might think, no way, she's totally scrubbing those. Nope, I promise, I'm just wiping them gently. Now I'm going to also add for Monday a little star bullet point. It's so cute, and then just put it right down there at the bottom, and then also write in my activity with a red flare pen. And I like to, when I'm doing rainbow weeks, color coordinate just the whole dang thing because I love the way that it turns out. It's super cute and a lot of fun. Now I'm going to also add this little orange for Tuesday, and look, I dropped it. It made a mess. It's awful. Okay, back up, ink it up again, put the today stamp on the Tuesday morning, clean it off with the baby wipe. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look through my planner sticker books and find a red decorative sticker. I'm going to cover that event up and cover up the ink that I spilled. This happens sometimes. So the point of this is that I could have started all over, but I wanted to show you that sometimes you're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, and I'm also very messy, but that isn't the point. The point is that you're going to make mistakes, so I just stamped it again right below, and I covered my mistake with a sticker. And now, voila, we moved on, and it's not really a big deal at all. Obviously, I added a sticker to the page when I was trying to show you just how you could plan with only stamps, but it's okay. I've explained myself enough to let you know that I've just totally made a mistake. Now I put that to-do header, and then I'm only inking up a portion of that checklist, just what I had room for in that little situation. So I first I put my stamp down so I could see how many I should ink up, and then I inked up only the 4 that I wanted, and that's it. Now I have the perfect little to-do list right where I wanted it. Now this week I'm not going to show you any decorative stamping. I'm only showing you functional stamping. I wanted to give you a good look at how to use these stamps in your average week in your Happy Planner. Now this hexagon, it has lines inside. What I'm doing is I'm only inking up the outside. Now ordinarily what I would do is I would put something down to mask those lines. I would put down like some washi tape to cover them up, or a little piece of paper or something like that, but I wanted to see if I could do it with just the ink pad. And I have a little bit of kind of a mess up in the center, but it's really very minor, so I totally don't even worry about it. But I'm also not a perfectionist, and in the future I will definitely use a little bit of a mask, like just covering the areas I don't want inked with washi tape. But for me, for this, it's perfectly fine. I like that hexagon, and I can definitely see myself using it quite a bit. It's very cute right there. Now for Wednesday, I've added that little bullet points stamp again, and then I'm going to just write in my activity using the yellow pen. And I love yellow. It's such a beautiful color, but I hate using it to show you guys how I work because it can be so hard for you guys to see. But not a problem, you know it's there, so it's not really something I'm going to worry about too terribly much. Now I have added the little circle that says to do up in the upper right hand corner, and then now I'm going to use my checklist as well so that I can make sure that I tackle all of those to-dos. You get to see my little head right there as I try to make sure that it's all lined up correctly, and then just clean off the stamp with my baby wipe. Now these baby wipes that I have are really super wet. There's lots and lots of moisture in them, so I kind of have to wipe them off with my hand also to get all of the excess off, but lots of baby wipes are not quite as wet as these are. Now right there I'm just showing you where I smudged some orange ink in that top box from Wednesday. It happens, it definitely happens, and I try to be careful, but sometimes it happens. But you just definitely need to make sure that you give it a little bit of time to dry. And you know what, quite frankly, sometimes it's not even from the stamping itself, it's from opening the lid and there was a little bit of ink on the outside and it got on one finger and then you smudged it all over. Okay, wait, maybe it's just me. Anyway, it happens, so it's just something to pay attention to, but it does not happen all that often if you are careful. Now we're going to move on finally to the second half of the page, and I am going to do the dinners across the bottom like I already said. I'm going to keep with the current color scheme, which is the rainbow. So first I do the green, and then I'm going to do turquoise. Normally I add pink at the end. This week I'm going to forgo the pink, and instead I'm going to do 2 different blue days. So I'm doing the turquoise first. Now I didn't get the stamp completely dried. Remember how I told you these wipes are really super wet? So you might notice that the turquoise one is a little bit darker in certain sections. It's just because there was some of the wetness left over from the baby wipe I should have wiped off. Then I'm going to move into a royal blue, and then I will go into purple. Now the purple is a VersaFine ink pad, and like I said, they don't come in all of that many colors, or that many colors that I like, and so I only own a few of these, purple being one of them. And then there we go. We have the whole rest of the week, the dinner section all marked off. And that is really just genuinely such a cute stamp and really, really easy. There's plenty of room there to write the dinners inside that little box. Now it is time to get ready to ink up the green. So I'm going to do that little bullet point and then also do it again and then do it a third time as well. Now sometimes I like to alternate where these show up. Sometimes I would do left, right, left. This time I just decided to go ahead and do them all down the left-hand side. I have 3 different activities that I need to make a note of, so I'm just going to use my green pen to fill in the blanks next to the bullet points. I can't forget my to-do list, so I'm going to use the really cute clipboard stamp and I'm going to ink that up with the Versacolor ink and then go ahead and stamp it in the top box. Now remember, just set it down and apply firm pressure throughout the whole thing. Don't rock it back and forth or anything like that, just solid firm pressure. And then I'm going to take that banner sort of to-do stamp and stamp it right underneath. I really am enjoying the way those 2 stamps look together in particular. They're super cute. Now for Friday, I have a couple of different activities as well, but one of which is a dentist appointment. I've never been so excited about a dentist appointment now that I have this really cute dentist icon stamp. It's just adorable, and it is like one of the stickers in one of those Big Value Pack books. I think it's the mom one. It's just really adorable, and I love how now that it's a stamp, I can use it in any color and use it anywhere I want, regardless of the color scheme that I have going on in my planner that week. So now I'm going to use these bullet point stamps as well to note the activity for Friday in addition to the dentist. What's kind of cool is that this is just the little star bullet, that's it, just the star, but that other one that I used on Thursday, it has the outline and then the star part itself is white. I love them both, and I love having the versatility of having both, and so I can go back and forth. And stars are something I use a lot in my planning, mostly because I like stars, but then also because I have so many sporting events to take care of. Stars seem like a good thing to use for sporting events. So now I'm ready to move on to Saturday, and I'm going to first use this weekend plans little sort of banner. It's kind of big for my stamp pad, but I'm going to use it anyway. Then I'm going to ink it up with the wrong color, the turquoise, forgetting that my weekend is actually royal blue and purple. And so what I decided to do was try to sort of meld them together. I'm going to use the dark blue on the left side and the purple on the right side. And it's kind of cool. I mean, they're very similar colors, so you can't see them all that well, but it's still fun and I could definitely try it again. Now, of course, I dropped the purple ink pad. I mean, I've not messed up this much in a long time, but it's okay. It's no big deal. It's a perfect opportunity to show you that everybody messes up and you can simply cover it with a sticker. So I'm going to cover the little spilled ink pad with that green circle sticker down at the bottom, and I left enough room for me to write out for dinner. So no problem there. I mean, I wrote it. It must happen, right? Okay, so for anyway, I'm going to ink up the bullet point stamp. And remember, I told you already that sometimes I like to do them in a row and sometimes I like to alternate them back and forth, left, right, just to keep my eye moving across the page. So for Saturday, I'm going to alternate them, especially because on Thursday, I left them both on the same side. And I also have 3 activities and got to keep that as interesting as possible, right? Now, I really love this outline for the big boxes. It fits perfectly. And so I'm going to pull out that really big stamp pad, or I'm sorry, stamp block that I have and ink it up with the purple VersaFine and then just go ahead and use it right there. It's really super cute and I love how it highlights that box and really draws your eye in. So then I'm just going to write my activity for Sunday, which I only have one, but it's kind of a big thing. So just go ahead and ink that all up right there. And then I'm finished. That's it. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video on the Happy Planner stamps. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about stamping or using these particular stamps, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer you. And if you have any questions about the product, the specifics, you can go to the Me and My Big Ideas Periscope and find out all of those. Thank you so much and make it a great day.